Hi guys, GV here at very lovely beach in my area. Lucky for me, it's a 20-minute bike ride away. And I'm hoping and praying. It looks, it was raining all day, all night. Hoping and praying on my one day off that I get to enjoy this loveliness, get to enjoy the beauty of Gaia herself. Considering what we're dealing with, especially my last video, and quite honestly, the topic of this video isn't going to be that lovely. Okay. The last video I talked about was that whole thing of the rapture and those two patients being raptured right in front of me. Well, last night being Friday, the 16th, today's the 17th, Saturday, this Eastern Standard Time. Last patient, I was extremely nervous. The young fellow that was with us for those two raptures on Wednesday, he was extremely nervous because it was like 5 something, which was the time we started the female, the 60-year-old that was raptured after the procedure was done, when we thought everything was fine and told her family everything was fine. Just go look at the last video. I'm not going to repeat myself. So I did not like the looks of my patient, and he kept going in and out of consciousness, and I kept trying to wake him up, and he would wake up and talk. And he started in pre-procedure before I took him in, just saying, I don't feel good. I just don't feel well. I'm like, what is going on? Tell me what you're feeling. Are you having chest pain? Remember, I work in cardiac. And he's like, no, I'm not having chest pain. I just don't feel good. Something's wrong. Which is the same thing the other two people on Wednesday that passed, the 6-year-old and the 7-year-old, the male and the female. Same thing they were saying. And I'm like, man, I'm just not liking the feel of this, especially with the time and all. So the fellow comes to consent the patient, and he's like, I'm not comfortable. We call over the attending. The attending's looking at us. He wasn't the attending that was there during all that craziness on Wednesday. He's a different one. And he's looking at us, and he's like, ooh, not sure. And he's like, let me go consult my partner. So he goes to consult his partner. Then he comes back 10 minutes later, and the tech is like, please don't convince him not to do it. I was like, I'm trying. We all don't want this to happen, okay? Because we're nervous. We're coming up on that 6 o'clock hour, which is when the female coded and was raptured in front of us. So we're like, ugh. Mind you, we all have PTSD. Everyone who was there that night, involved that night, we're all like on pins and needles. And on top of that, exactly what Supreme Creator showed me was going to happen, as in investigations and stuff like that. It's going down exactly like how I was shown. I was like, dang. And I'm glad I told a couple of people just to have witness that I knew in advance. And they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I was like, believe it. So he came back. He said, we're going to do the case. So we get her there. It was like 5:30 by the time we got her on the table, him on the table. Quick procedure, clean cath, no blockages. And I refused to sedate. I said, I'm not sedating the guy. And the doctor's like, okay, your call. I'm like, no, not going to happen. I didn't even take the sedation out of the machine. I was like, oh, heck no. Because he kept losing consciousness. Mind you, we cut into the guy's leg and did everything. People would be, if you weren't sedated, you'd be off the table screaming. He didn't move. The guy didn't move. Because he was like in and out of consciousness. And then we were finished, and doctor's like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you okay? Everything's clean. And he's like, okay, like that. And then doctor runs out of the room. Right? Fellow leaves the room. He's like, okay, phew, it's 6:15. We got past that hour. And I was like, it ain't over till it's over, because he's still on the table. So the tech comes over. Hey, how you doing? We're gonna transfer you back to your bed and take you back to the posting area. Recovery. And he grabs my hand. He looks at me and he says, "I don't feel good. Something is wrong." And I said, "Everything's over. You're going to be fine." And Tech's like, "Do you want me to take him off of the monitors?" I'm like, "Heck no." I wanted to keep him on the defibrillator just in case we need to shock him. God only knows what could happen in the 5 minutes it takes to put him on the bed. So as we're prepping him to transfer him, I see him grabbing at his shoulder. He's like going like this. It was his left shoulder. He was doing that using his right hand. And the tech's like, "Hey, calm down. What are you doing? What's up? What's up?" And he's like, "Something's scratching at me. Something's grabbing at me." Then he looks and he says to us, "I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm dying." We're like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." He's like, "I'm dying." And then he starts changing into that molten color. Color like a freaking Dementor, a Death Eater is sucking his soul out, like the other two happened. Then he starts with the gagging, like he's throwing up. And he's like trying to sit up. He's like, and I'm like, "No, no, no, lay down." He's like, "Oh, I want to sit up." And then it's like, "You can't sit up. We just went into your artery in your leg. You can't sit up." And I was like, "Get him to his side." And he was just dry heaving, starts foaming at the freaking mouth, but not a lot. And then I'm like, "You know what? I'm just going to freaking Reiki him. Fuck it. In front of everybody. Reiki and Qigong." So I started doing it and his color came back. Thank God. His color came back. I said, "Okay, come on, grab him. Let's put him on the bed. Let's get him to recovery." So we get him on the bed. Then his eyes start rolling in the back of his head. And he's like, "I'm dying. I'm dying." I was like, "No, you're not." Reiki'd him again. We get him over to recovery, get him hooked up. Man, I ran out of the room like a bat out of hell. I was like, "Yo, no thank you. Not again." I did not want that to be me. My name is going to be on enough papers for the other two. So that's what happened. And it was the same time as the first one happened on Wednesday. So was it Wednesday? Yesterday was Friday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. That's right. Thursday, we made it through with no one going. And then yesterday was Friday. Yeah. So, yeah. Did he make it through the night? I don't know. I'll check the next time I'm at work. And I've had a few people request, "Oh, let's meditate. Let's stop this. Let's do that. Let's stop this." No. No, this is divinely ordered. It's time. Okay? And it's about time. Okay? It is it's within divine order, no matter how horrific it looks. It's all within God's divine order. It's not evil. It may look evil to some, and I've had some people call me so many names on the last video. The religious type. This is not God's true rapture, you idiot, you this, you that, blah, 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 blah. And I had a few bots who I blocked and stuff. Because they don't have the understanding. Their level of understanding of understanding is not there, or they're just bots trying to, create discourse like they usually do. But it's within God's divine order. No amount of praying is going to change this, nor do I want it changed. When it comes to mercy, now my BFF, she's like, "Yeah, I saw the video and I'm scared for my family," which I am too, because my daughter took all the shots, my sister took all of the shots, and my daughter even gave her baby the shots, which is horrific, okay? So I am absolutely terrified. But what I was told a long time ago, a couple of years ago when this first started, not a long time, a couple of years ago by Supreme Creator, was that they are covered in our blood, our bloodline. They are covered. They are safe. So meaning even if they were stupid enough to do something like that it's not going to take them out. They may suffer some consequences, but it's not going to take them out like that because of God's mercy and because of who and what we are as light workers, light warriors, if you want to use that type of language. But they're protected. They're covered underneath our lineage, our our blood, our bloodline. I can't tell you if you are one who has that type of bloodline. That's for you to know. And if you don't know that by now, if you're not the main one, if you don't know that by now, then you're not. Let's be plain about this. Let's be for real about this. Because no matter how old you are, there are plenty of teenagers who are on my channel follow me, and young people, Gen Zers, who know who and what they are. They've been on the front lines of this awakening and ascension. They know who they are. Doesn't matter how old they are, it's their blood that's covering their family, their bloodline. Okay? And it's not to say if somebody took the shots and you are of that bloodline that will not be harmed. It's not to say that, they're not going to choose to go anyway. It is a soul choice. It is a soul choice. And you could ask for mercy. I asked for mercy for my other sister, for some stuff, or some karmic stuff, and I was given prayers for her to say, and I sent them to her, and she said, "Hey, I sent them," and I was told just as long as she says them, she's good. So that's wonderful. So you can ask for mercy and pray for a loved one and ask for mercy for them, but they have to repent. They have to want the forgiveness from Source Creator. I'm still waiting for my daughter to be straight up, to repent, to ask for forgiveness, to ask for God's mercy. That's not up to me. That's up to her. It's there for the taking. And again, I've said this a cajillion times since I started my channel. There is a line you don't cross, which is eating of the flesh and drinking of the blood. When it comes to those who are, worshiping the dark and doing that kind of stuff, with the, cannibalism and the child sacrifice and the adrenochrome, all that kind of crap. Their soul has to go to, I made a video about it. You'll see Dante's Inferno. Their soul has to go and be purified and then be reabsorbed back to Source. That's what happens with them. It has nothing to do with punishment. This is not about punishment. No one is being punished. But you do have to account for your karma. You do have to account for your karma. No matter what, you have to account for your karma. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And again, I guess I needed it in my face to believe it when it started, because I didn't believe those videos when I saw those people hashtag died suddenly things. I like those athletes and stuff dropping and things like that. I totally believe that, yes. But when it came to those people who looked horrified and looked like they were having a seizure and a stroke at the same time, whose eyes were dilating and looked horrified and were looking at the corner and grabbing up and stuff like that, I did not believe that. I thought that was a total hoax, until I got to see it twice, and now almost a third time. I doubt very much. Probably my energy was able to hold that guy till he got out of my hands, out of my energetic reach. That's probably it. Who knows? But he was exhibiting all the same signs and symptoms as those other two who got raptured. Okay? All right. Well, GV out. I don't, wow. As dark as it's going to get, that is that much lighter it's going to get for those of us who are in the light. The darker it gets, the brighter the light shines, I should say. And we're all going to be placed in our pockets of heaven. Some of us waited last minute, like myself and a few of my loved ones. You know, we waited till last minute to get set because we were staying behind to help as many people as possible. But now's the time, especially, I have to say, with the 1221 portal coming up. I was shown months ago, and I've been talking about it, but I've been holding off. You know, I've been telling my loved ones about it, but I've been holding off on talking about it on video just because I just wanted to see what was happening. And I was really focusing on trying to save the souls of my family, really focusing on my family, and I still am. And that's a really important portal, the 21st to the 23rd. That's the highest plane. Sorry, this wind. That's the highest plane. That's the highest plane. That's it. That's when we have to jump up to the next level, spiraling up. That's our spiral up. That's it for this lifetime. Jumping up to not go through the tribulation, which is coming up in 2023. Right now, this whole rapture thing, it's all part of the threshing floor. I made that video a year and a half ago talking about the threshing floor. Go back, you'll find the videos. I was talking about the threshing floor and how long it's going to last, and this is it till the end of 2022. Then comes the tribulation. So yeah, we're at that time. All right, guys, we got this. GV out. Much love. Enjoy the scenery.